Represents the 25th District of Texas, stretching from Fort Worth to Austin. Okay, let's start with Paul Ryan again. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, I'm glad we've got a leader. We need a leader. We were in totally uncharted territory when Speaker Boehner decided to resign and not fill his term out. And I think Paul will do a good job. Paul and I are friends. We've got a few issues. He's not as aggressive on tax reform as I am, for example, but we've talked about that. But I think he's got the ability to bring everybody together. And we need that now, for heaven's sakes. We got some stuff we need to really move on with to help America. And it's good timing. So I'm excited to work with him.
Congressman, I'm sorry. Tax reform has been a big issue in the Republican campaign for president. What's your plan and how will it?
Well, I've got a plan, and you know, I'm a business guy. I'm one of the few guys that actually owns a business still in Congress. And I think we've tried a lot of things. Stimulus hadn't worked. 0% hadn't worked. I think a form of socialism is not working. I think America's greatest asset is Americans. Small business owners, moms and dads, grandpas and grandmas. And we've come out with a program called Jumpstart America, which we've been talking about the last 6 or 7 months. And it's pretty simple. I mean, we cut the personal income, cut the corporate income tax, cut the payroll tax. We bring dividends and back down to where they were at 15%. We even allow write-off 100% of fixed asset purchases. If people buy a computer or a vehicle or whatever, they can write it off 100% the year they buy it. And we cut the payroll tax in half. We do everything we can to help small businesses hire people, create more cash flow. The thing about when we talk about tax reform, everybody talks about deductions and loopholes, and that's great, but we've got to cash flow this country because it's evident from both parties there's no appetite to cut expenses right now in America. If we can't cut expenses, we need to cash flow our country and allow people to begin to make money because we're a consumption-driven nation. If we make money, we'll spend money.
Okay. All right. Any thoughts on the budget deal?
Just a horrible deal. I was very adamant against it. I think it's one of the worst things we've frankly done. You've heard Congressman Burgess talk a little bit about it, but the fact of the matter is to raise the debt ceiling again is just the wrong way to go, and especially to raise it for 2 years with no caps, no limits. We got an $18 trillion debt right now. We're $600 billion short. And I think people listening, families, small business owners like myself, if you're $1,000 short, you don't go borrow another $1,000, you cut $1,000. We need to be cutting in America. We can do that, and there's a lot of places to begin. But I was totally against it because it does raise the debt ceiling. We talk about we talk about pay-fors. We talk about how we're going to pay for it. They never come. I mean, they start 10 years from now, and a lot of people in Congress are making this legislation won't even be there 10 years from now. So it's just a bad deal. It hurts our farmers. It hurts small business. It's going to cost jobs. I was totally against it. I want to see real cuts before we go borrow more money.
Well, Congressman, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
And Meet the Press is coming up next with an exclusive interview with Jeb Bush. We'll see you next week.